welcome to the Omni for the NCAA Southeast first round game between the Cyclones of Iowa State and the Bruins of UCLA. Here are the starting lineups. At forward for Iowa State, number 30, Marc Urquhart. At forward for UCLA, number 4, Trevor Wilson. At forward for Iowa State, number 41, Marc Baugh. At forward for UCLA, number 42, Don MacLean. At center for Iowa State, number 52, Victor Alexander. At center for UCLA, number 50, Kevin Walker. At guard for Iowa State, number 4, Terry Woods. At guard for UCLA, number 15, Darrick Martin. At guard for Iowa State, number 22, Mike Bourne. At guard for UCLA, number 24, Pooh Richardson. The coach of Iowa State is Johnny Orr. The coach of UCLA is Jim Harrick.
Johnny Orr has been there 9 years. Jim Harrick's in his first year. He'll return with the opening tip-off after these messages. Along with Dan Belluomini, we're in Atlanta, Georgia. Final game of the day. UCLA against Iowa State. UCLA leads the series by 3-0. Again, UCLA starting with Wilson, MacLean, Walker, Martin, and Pooh Richardson. For Iowa State, it'll be Baugh, Urquhart, Alexander, Bourne, and Terry Woods. UCLA, Kevin Walker at 6'10", moving into jump, and he jumps against 6'9", Victor Alexander. He's 265. He's already lost 30 pounds this year. UCLA gets the tap, and we're underway.
Iowa State looks like they're going to start man-to-man. Of course, it's a man-to-man team. UCLA going to run their high post, try to get the ball inside. They need to have some patience, Ralph, in the half court, and they need to execute, because I think they've got a little size advantage with their forwards, and they might be able to get it down low.
Rebound comes off to Iowa State after Martin misses. Iowa State on the offensive for the first time. Wilson on the rebound. UCLA wanting to run again. Pooh Richardson. It's 2-0. Don MacLean puts UCLA out on top here in Atlanta.
Well, you're going to see one of the fine freshmen in the country, and Don MacLean. He's had an outstanding freshman year for UCLA. And he can cause a lot of problems. So can this guy right here, though.
That man is Victor Alexander, the sophomore from Detroit. He hits 58.7% from the field. Most of them are just in that close. Game tied at 2-all.
Little token pressure by Iowa State. Richardson can handle that. I think they really got, there's a long jumper.
That's a three-point try by Kevin Walker. Rebound comes off to Iowa State's Mike Bourne. He's averaging 8.5 rebounds a game. Who was he throwing it to? Nobody there except Wilson.
It wasn't passed, but nobody broke to the basket that time. Now, UCLA looks like they're playing a little too quick. I mean, they're not getting the shots right now that Jim Harrick wants them to get. Don MacLean really had the only one off the pattern. Everything else has been a force.
That would play into Iowa State's hands, I would think.
Yeah, I think UCLA's got to stay in that half court.
Iowa State's averaging 87 points a ball game, while UCLA is averaging 81, but Iowa's also giving up 85.2 points a contest. Iowa State with the ball. This is Urquhart. On the rebound with a follow-up is Baugh. He can't get it to go. He had 3 tries at it and finally gets the foul inside against Walker. That time, Iowa State was able to come up with 3 rebounds. They lead in the rebounding early, 4-1.
UCLA's got to do a better job of putting a body on somebody, because here's the inside play of Iowa State. Baugh, he just keeps shooting it till he misses it. You know, 1, 2, let's get it again. No one really screening him out. Everybody's kind of watching. Surprising that he hasn't been able to get it in. Walker picks up the foul.
Baugh at the line, hitting over 79% of the year. And Iowa State has their first lead of the night. They go on top 3-2. Marc Baugh, 6'5", 195, out of Elgin, Illinois, averages 13-2 a game. And again, the 5th rebound of the night comes off to Iowa State.
This is a real young team, too, Ralph. I mean, Iowa State plays 3 sophomores. There's another foul on Walker, his second in a hurry. And the one thing that UCLA does not have is a strong bench. If they can get their frontline people in foul trouble, they got Charles Rochland who can come off the bench, who's a pretty good player. But after that, they got some problems. And Walker gets his second, and Rochland's going to make an early entry into the game.
Alexander has finished up strong this year. Of course, he was first team all Big 8 in 2 polls. He was second team in another as UCLA makes its substitution with Rochland coming into the game, replacing Walker. Alexander at 26 points and 10 rebounds against Oklahoma, the semifinal round of the Big 8 conference tournament. Alexander has 3 points.
Johnny Orr's got a good foundation for a strong club. There you see the numbers on Victor Alexander, a nice shooter and a big guy who could put a lot of numbers up. He's got 4 already early, and there again is a 2-2-1 press.
3-point lead for Iowa State. UCLA's Pooh Richardson to the ball. MacLean, who has the only 2 points of the night for UCLA. Wilson. MacLean was trying to post up low as Martin takes it to the hoop. Back up with the rebound. It's there. UCLA's Charles Rochland gets on the board.
One thing Rochland can do is jump. He's a great jumper, and there's a long jumper by Baugh that doesn't go. Here's where they're tough, Ralph. If they can get it here in the open court, this guy here makes pretty good decisions.
MacLean does it. He made a great decision there, dishing it to Don MacLean, who has 4 points, and now UCLA goes on top by 1 at 6-5.
When we talked about that at the top of the show, transition baskets, very important for the Bruins.
Right down the pipe. That's the way you do it. Mike Bourne, who averages 12 and a half a game, gets his first 2, and now the Cyclones go back on top by 1. Richardson against Baugh. Picked up now by Bourne. Wilson.
A good pop out on the switch that time off the screen.
Wilson. And a foul underneath. The foul's got to be on the Cyclones.
Now, Darrick Martin, only a freshman. It was an excellent pass that time. Trevor Wilson with the bounce pass, and the little guy right here, Darrick Martin, takes it in traffic. Alexander picks up the foul, and if there's anybody that UCLA wants to get in foul trouble, it's Victor Alexander.
And he picks up number 1. Darrick Martin at the line. Martin getting number 1. That's Johnny Orr. Well, he's had an illustrious career, 24 years. He was at Michigan, over at Iowa State now. Won 141, lost 125 in 9 years there. He likes his team, telling us yesterday.
Yeah. He said this team's an overachieving type of ball club, and it surprised him that they're in the NCAA tournament. Never thought he would be into the tournament.
Look at this one. Second half, Missouri leading Creighton 82-67. We wish Norman Stewart the best out there.
It's a good win from a good little lead so far from Missouri. I thought they would win that game. There he is again. Victor Alexander.
6 points for the big man. That puts it back to a 9-8 ball game in favor of Iowa State. Very little press coming from Iowa State. Rochland. He has some people out of Canada who are down here covering the NCAA first round just because of him. That's Don MacLean. He has number 6. It's 10-9. UCLA's Bruins go back out on top.
And one thing you love about MacLean, he never brings the ball down. He's a pure shooter, and when he gets on a roll, he's at 41 already this year in 1 game.
Alexander, and the foul will be on MacLean. MacLean draws his first foul. That's the 3rd team foul against the Bruins. If you're a college basketball fan, you have to get excited when the name UCLA comes up, especially this year when they're 20-9. And what a great job Jim Harrick has done.
Did a pretty good job getting Don MacLean as his first recruit. He brought him in. He almost went to Georgia Tech, almost came down here to Atlanta. And Don said it was very, very close, but he decided to go to UCLA. And Jim Harrick's also had a good recruiting year. He's got 2 or 3, actually got 3 good players coming in. So UCLA's on the upswing, and there's Jim Harrick. Of course, was at Pepperdine for many years. Done a good job and won conference championships every place he's been, and I think he's going to do an outstanding job here at UCLA.
It's there by Alexander. Pooh Richardson and Marc are at guards. You have MacLean, Trevor Wilson in. And also Charles Washington for UCLA. On the bench with 2 fouls is Kevin Walker. Wilson gets his first 2 points of the night. He averages 17-9. 21st all-time score for UCLA. 15:29 to go. First half of play. 12-10. The Bruins. They have the rebound. MacLean with it.
I was a little short that time. Just couldn't get it up. There's Richardson again. Good eyes in the open court.
What a great move by Trevor Wilson. You can see why he's such a prolific scorer. 14-10. Biggest lead by either ball club. The Bruins have it.
And you can see how effective UCLA is in a running game when Richardson controls in the middle.
Iowa State going for it. Blocked. That was Washington who blocked it. Wilson with it. 2-on-1. And he's fouled. The foul's going to be on Terry Woods. His first, the second on Iowa State.
Pooh Richardson, of course, when he runs the break for UCLA, I think he's going to be an excellent throw. He's got good vision. Look at that flip pass across the court. Good athletic move there by Trevor Wilson, who gets it off the board for the score.
There's timeout with 14:58 to go, and the score, UCLA 14, Iowa State 10.
Neutral.
The outside, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Iowa State 3 of 9 from the outside for 33%, 4 of 6 from the charity stripe. And they're winning the rebounding battle by 1, 6-5 over the Bruins. Marc. Wilson.
Might have traveled or he might have been bumped, one or the other. Oh, they're going to get 3 seconds.
Too much time.
Well, Trevor Wilson had to make a decision that time. I thought he wanted to kick the ball out. Instead, he tried to shoot it, but just stayed in that lane a little bit too long.
The Iowa State Cyclones having led by 3, trailing now by 4. No time to waste as they pump it up from 3-point range, and MacLean is on the rebound. Pooh Richardson with it. Wilson already down court. They give it to Rochland. Rebound comes off to Iowa State. That's Urquhart. Urquhart has already been accepted for medical school at Johns Hopkins. 5 for 2. UCLA on the rebound. They run again. Out to Pooh Richardson against Urquhart. The foul will be on Urquhart. The basket counts.
Oh, what a play by Pooh Richardson that time. Urquhart trying to establish, but Pooh Richardson just sort of knifed right by him. I thought Pooh made a complete play that time. Catches the touchdown pass. It just brings it in. Puts it right up and in. Look at that play. Richardson, of course, a lot of people say he's a good assist man, which he is, but he can score. He's had a big shooting year for UCLA.
Coming into the ball game, he had 217 assists while as a Bruin. Wilson on the rebound, but did he push off? I think that's what they're going to say. Or maybe he was pushed.
I think you're right the first time.
Yes, it was. Wilson pushing off. His first foul. That'll be the 4th foul called against the Bruins.
And one of the underrated things that UCLA does very well, their guards play fairly good defense. Martin's in a pretty good defensive situation there, and he gets the steal there.
He does for a fact, taking it away. But Woods goes all the way. Martin gets his first field goal, 4th point, and now UCLA is starting to pull it away. 18-10, they lead. 13:55 to go, first half. Urquhart, he needs to get on track.
The last couple of times down, really, that Alexander hasn't had the ball. And when Victor Alexander doesn't touch it for Iowa State, they've got a few problems.
Just kept it away from him. Look at this. Washington goes under. He gets 4, and Johnny Orr's got to be thinking about a timeout.
Well, you read his mind. They need a timeout right now. UCLA's on a run.
Iowa State has missed their last 5 shots. There's timeout on the floor with the score. UCLA 20, Iowa State 10. It's 20-10, 13:34 to go. That's Brad Holland, an outstanding player he was for the Bruins. His running mate, among others, Mr. Roy Hamilton.
Yeah, they had a pretty good team that year in '79. Of course, they had David Greenwood and Kiki Vandenboy, Roy Hamilton. Remember that team? Beat me in the regionals in Salt Lake City. I remember that team well.
I wanted you to tell everybody how badly they beat you. Here it goes. That's Bourne. He gets his first field goal and breaks a long, long dry spell for the Cyclones of Iowa State. Cut it back to 8 points now.
Excellent timeout that time by Johnny Orr. His team comes out and gets a score. Now they're going to go back. See if they show a little zone. No, it's man-to-man. I thought they showed a zone, but they disguised. He could shoot that shot.
Rushland for 2. The rebound comes off in a foul. It's going to be on number 42, Don MacLean. That'll be 2 for him. Other games going on across the country tonight in first-round action in NCAA has Missouri now beating Creighton 85-69. And George Mason in Indiana.
No
The
contest.
Hoosiers are running away.
Don MacLean picks up his second foul, and of course Walker has two, and Keith Owens, number 25, a good defender, but not a guy that scores a lot. So UCLA really now is a little short-handed because Owens is a walk-on.
Alexander getting the ball back in his hands on the follow-up, but just couldn't get it to go as Bourne didn't get it. That's the first time Alexander's touched it in a while. Alexander touched it there, but knocking the pass down. Bourne digging it out.
Look at the play by Richardson. Unbelievable. He gives it up and they score. Can you believe that?
Rushland getting number 6, 22-12. UCLA by 10. The second 10-point lead. This is Sam Mack, number 34 in the game for the Cyclones, losing it. Owens comes up with it over to Rushland. Darrick Martin running at the point at this moment. Now here comes Pooh Richardson. He wants it if he can get it out there.
I think Pooh's having an outstanding game. He made an unbelievable play the last time just to stay with the ball, and he's doing a nice job of directing the offense. Now they got to kick it down. Pretty good shot selection, except they didn't get it. But I like what they're doing when they get it down low.
Wilson on the inside. Iowa State coming up with the rebound. In a long while since they had defensive rebound. That comes up with number 11, all totally leading rebounds by 2. Big man, Alexander. Alexander getting his 9th point of the ball game. When he gets his hands on it, he can score.
Every time that Alexander has touched it, he's been able to really accomplish good things. There's a little backdoor, nice give and go. Might have been a goaltend. Yes, sir. Looked like a goaltend on Marc Baugh. UCLA with a little give and go that time, and a nice pass. Richardson takes it in. Here's Richardson, gets it up on the glass. And Baugh touches it. It hit the glass and it was going down. Good call by the official.
31% for Iowa State, 61% for UCLA. But Alexander is 3 out of 4 when they can get him the ball and let him have the shot to try for 3. The rebound comes off to Owens of UCLA. Richardson.
You know, Ralph, if you're UCLA, you got to love the fact that Alexander's not, when he doesn't touch the ball, let the other guy shoot it. I think the Cyclones have to now contain a little bit to get it back to the big guy.
Terry Woods. Turnover. Martin. 3 on 1. And he charges. Martin got a little bit out of control and draws number 1.
Good defensive job that time by Mike Bourne. Darrick Martin, the freshman, a little bit out of control. And I thought the official was right on the play. Took 2 points away from UCLA. Watch Bourne establish position and just hold. Now you can be moving down low as long as your upper body is directly in front. And I thought that was a good call.
Marc Urquhart comes back into the game. Iowa State now 75% for Alexander. See how well he's playing. The problem is they haven't been able to get him the basketball. UCLA committing the foul.
As Johnny Orr's got to be thinking the same thing. He's saying, hey, I got to get my big guy the ball a little bit more. But he's got to hope that his guys shoot it a little bit better on the outside. Jim Harrick likes what he sees so far, and he's got to be happy with the fact that he's got Walker right behind him on the bench with 2, and MacLean with 2, and the guys in the game are doing a pretty good job of containing.
Sam Mack looking for his first points tonight. He's out of Dalton, Illinois. Mack getting number 1. He averages 11.9 a ball game.
Really, all of Iowa State's scoring come from 2 players.
As indeed.
Warren's got 4, and the big guy Alexander's got 9.
Marc Baugh has 1 point, and there's 2 now for Sam Mack. You got 4 people in the scoring column, but you're indeed correct. Only 2 carry the load.
One thing UCLA now has to recognize that they've got some reserves on the floor, and I think Trevor Wilson has to take it over, or Rochland or Richardson. The veterans got to look to do it.
There's Rochland.
He's a pretty shooter. Charles Rochland, a standstill jump shooter, a rainbow when he gets it down.
Takes it 26-16, lead back at 10 points. That was only a 2-pointer. The inside Owens trying to put it up. It was an air ball, but caught by Baugh and put in for his first field goal, 3rd point. Under 10 minutes to go in the first half. Nice crowd on hand here in the Omni in Atlanta. Nice crowds earlier this afternoon. First round game. Martin, rebound Alexander. The big man was 3rd in the conference in rebounding, brings it down. Urquhart running off and leaving it.
Never had possession of the ball that time. Just kind of knocked off his head. And Iowa State gets it back, but then loses it.
A bunch of turnovers for Iowa State, it seems. That's 5 for them. 2 turnovers for UCLA. Washington, it's like shooting a game of horse with him now. He just posted up and fired it.
Pretty good reserve. Doesn't he have 10?
He has 10 to lead everybody in the ball game in scoring, as a matter of fact, coming off the bench.
You know, the mistake he's making is he's standing right on the line. All he's got to do is move back a little bit in the last 2 shots.
Alexander on the miss. Nobody there for Iowa State on the rebound, and UCLA comes up with it. The 11th rebound of the ball game. 3 behind the Cyclones. Pooh Richardson. UCLA's biggest lead has been at 10. This is about 5 times they've had it there, and a chance now to extend it on out. Richardson with a hoop, and he gets it. Pooh Richardson comes through with number 6. Now it's a 12-point advantage, UCLA.
Well, UCLA executing in the half court and getting whatever shot they want.
Marc Baugh. He stepped on the baseline. Out of bounds. UCLA gets it back. One thing Pooh Richardson is doing, besides picking up 6 points tonight, is adding to that assist total that he has. He already has 7 assists for the evening. 7 of the 9 UCLA has. Wilson is out. MacLean comes back in for the Bruins.
It's a bit of a calculated gamble, really, for Jimmy Harrick. You see Trevor Wilson sitting down, Don MacLean with 2 fouls, and you certainly don't want him to pick up his 3rd in the first half, so he's going to have to play a little cautiously and not make any bad fouls.
UCLA's at 41 consecutive winning seasons, second only to the University of Louisville. It's the University of Kentucky, who had the longest, dropped out this year with a losing record. Foul on Iowa State.
Looked like it was on Sam Mack, number 34. Johnny Orr does not like the score. He keeps looking up there, and it won't change. You can look up there a lot. It stays the same. And Don MacLean, who just entered, tried to get a jumper up and will go to the free throw line.
MacLean getting ready to pump up, first of 2.
It takes a lot of skill to play this game, but even more so to play it in foul trouble. And you have to be very careful, and you've got to watch your moves, and you just can't commit needless fouls. So MacLean's going to have a lot of pressure on him when they go down to the defensive end.
And MacLean comes up with his 7th point. He started off the game getting the first 2 field goals for UCLA. UCLA coming with a press. 31-18. Bruins on top. Another turnover for the Cyclones. Marc, Pooh Richardson, MacLean. MacLean is fouled. The foul's going to be on Mike Bourne.
Richardson, though, passed up a shot. There's the foul on Bourne, number 22, to give it up inside to MacLean. And one thing Richardson can do also, he makes good pass selection. He knows he's on the wings. He knows what players he's got in the open court, and he always seems to get it to the right guy.
Woods coming into the game for Iowa State. Terrible tragedy to set this UCLA team. At least they saw a tragedy happen last night. Just outside the window of Brumbach, there's a gentleman working on the 25th, 30th floor or so of the hotel cleaning windows. The cables broke, and he fell to his death just outside of their window.
Like I said, all the players are really shaken up. You can't blame them. That's got to be terrifying when you look out and see that.
Owens. Good move against Owens, but he traveled.
Of course, Keith Owens, who was a walk-on, as we said earlier, has earned a scholarship in UCLA and has really contributed to the program. He's playing a lot of minutes. There's a field goal percentage, and Iowa State can't win the game shooting where they are right now. And UCLA, of course, they've had a lot of shots inside, and that's why their percentage is so high, along with Rochland making all those jumpers.
Cyclones needing a basket, needing it in a bad way. With 7.5 to go in the first half of play. Alexander with his own rebound. Big man puts her back. That's 11 for him. Remember, he averages almost 20 a game.
Owens has to screen him out after he misses. That time Alexander missed and goes right back after it. UCLA still with an 11-point lead.
MacLean against Owens. Rebound to Alexander. He fought. Finally, he gets it. So give me a second chance at that thing, and I'll take it. Bad pass. They just threw it away, and that'll be 8 turnovers for the Cyclones. Martin, let's settle down now. Play this game. Wilson's on the sideline, getting ready to come back in at the next dead ball for the Bruins.
You know, Ralph, the one player they've negated UCLA has is Terry Woods, number 4. The little guy, pretty good assist man and does some good things, but he really has not been in his game. And Darrick Martin has done a pretty good defensive job on him.
Now, here's a man averages almost 13 a game, and he's only taken 1 shot.
He's been very quiet.
MacLean. MacLean zips her for number 9. MacLean's putting the ball up with great authority. He's 4 out of 5 from the outside, 1 of 2 from the free throw line.
Can't allow MacLean to get the ball down deep. You got to either play on the side or drop down, because if you just give him the ball 4 feet from the basket, he's too big and he's going to turn and make that shot.
Another bad pass. That'll make it 9 turnovers for the Cyclones.
Well, I think if Iowa State would give it to this guy maybe a little bit more, you can't do it almost every time down, but he gets such great results. Victor Alexander that time, no screen out on him. He went right back to score, and he's been the only bright spot for Iowa State in the first half.
Of course, he's the 3rd leading scorer in the Big 8 with 19.8. Look at the turnovers again. 9-3. Wilson.
There was no foul that time as Owens tried to take it in.
He threw a touchdown pass to Marc Baugh, and he goes in for his 2nd field goal, his 5th point of the night. 33-22.
And I think that's the first open court score I can remember for a long time for Iowa State. UCLA just didn't get back on defense, and the Cyclones burned it.
Owens.
A good rebound. What a power rebound that was.
That'll be 5 rebounds for Alexander. They're having trouble holding on to the basketball. What some people may not realize, and is the fact that when they break into tournament time, they use new basketballs, and it's very difficult to get those things in shape to play with.
Yeah, I always hated that. When you go into a tournament like this, they just crack open a brand new ball, and sometimes with the sweat and all, it gets very slippery. That time, Pooh Richardson, I think, is going to pick up the foul.
In the bonus situation, if they go to the line with Terry Woods, he's up there for the first time. I'd like to see the stats sometimes and see how turnovers per tournament apply. But those are the regular season for those teams. If it does make a big difference, as we might suspect.
Well, I know in most conferences, I know everybody hates to play with a brand new. They get balls out there that's been, that the home team will supply that they've utilized in practice. But one thing about it is both clubs have to use them, and there's a turnover just unforced by the Bruins. They just throw that one right out of bounds.
Iowa State making a change as Marc Urquhart gets ready to come back into the ball game with 4 minutes and 52 seconds to go. There's a timeout on the floor here at Omni with the score UCLA 33.
1 or 2 early in the game.
And there's absolutely been nobody hit a 3-pointer. It's 0 for 1 for UCLA, 0 for 3 for Iowa State.
Well, neither one of these clubs relies on the 3-point shot. Another turnover.
Iowa State thought they had forced their turnover, but it comes right back to UCLA. It was Adrian Moore who knocked it off, and out of bounds. Pooh Richardson for the Bruins. Walker, they've taken away his outshine shot.
Well, they're playing him smart. When you play Kevin Walker on the outside, it's tight right. Make him put the ball on the ground. Don't give him the shot.
Johnny Orr said yesterday he knew he had to come out on defense, and that's something that his ball club had not been used to doing, playing out very far away from the basket on the center. Rochland comes up with his 12th point to lead the Bruins.
Rochland's had a big half coming off the bench. He's been the real spark for the Bruins. He hasn't missed too many shots.
Terry Woods for 3. Richardson on the rebound. This is the way Iowa State got in trouble early on in the ball game. Walking against Wilson. That'll be 6 turnovers for the Bruins. So the thing that Wilson has had to do more than anything else this year, Dan, is work on the emotion part of his ball game.
Well, Trevor Wilson, you see Keith Owens coming in the game and Kevin Walker going to sit. Jim Harrick doesn't want to pick up the 3rd on Walker. Jim Harrick and Trevor Wilson went round and round a little bit this year as they wanted Wilson to control the game and not play with a lot of emotions and not make bad fouls. And I think Trevor Wilson's had an outstanding year for UCLA. And when he goes real good and Richardson can lead the break, then the Bruins are really in their tempo.
The 3-point shot is not there. Rebound comes off to Iowa State. The basket is followed up and good by Adrian Moore. 37-32. The Cyclones back within 5. They have been down by as many as 13 of the game.
Well, you can see why Johnny Orr loves this club. I mean, there's no quit in Iowa State. They had a chance to fold the tent, but instead they've come right back.
It's tournament time. You can't give up. One loss and you're out. Jerry Woods off and running again. He splits the needle. Oh, he got it. He's fouled. It could go to a 2-point game.
Oh, Jerry Woods went the whole 94 that time, and no one stepped in his way. Woods, who we thought was a key player in this game and someone that had to get his game going. This time, look at, he just goes by one man, goes by two men, takes it all the way inside. Nobody steps in front. He takes it in and scores. The little guy's only 5'9", but he can do it.
Wilson on the rebound. 37-34 remain to the three-point contest. 8 out of 12 from the free throw line for Iowa State. Not very good. 67%, but UCLA is only hitting 60%. They're 3 of 5. Downtown, the rebound comes off to Iowa State. It's 2-on-1. Alexander, the big man, is fouled. It's going to be on Rushland. That'll be his second consecutive foul. And Alexander goes up to the line where he shoots 65%. Now compare that with the fact he hits almost 59 for the field.
Terry Woods this time makes a nice pass. And of course the foul by Rushland didn't really bother Alexander. I mean, he was all over him, and he just kind of shrugged him off.
It would take a brave man to stand in there and accept a charging foul from Victor Alexander.
Yeah, somebody says, take the charge, take the charge. Coach, you take the charge. I'm not taking it on that guy. And he put you right through the basket.
If one stood in there and took it, you wouldn't have to wait for him to get a foul with a cap key. Alexander gets his 14th point. Just can't get it to fall from the charity stripe. 35 for the Cyclones, 37 for the Bruins. What a run the Cyclones have made as we go toward halftime with only 24 seconds to go.
Yeah, Johnny Orr has to be real happy and pleased with his team that they were able to come back, and UCLA now's got a shot to play for the last one. Oh, good defense by Baugh. He's right up on it. Good defense. That was almost a travel. Why not?
It'll be for 2. 1 second, and that's going to be it as Charles Rushland gets his 14th point. And Johnny Orr takes his basketball club off for a halftime punt after they made a big run. That's the end of the first half with the score. UCLA 39, Iowa State 35. We'll be back after this message and a word from the local stations. This is an NCAA Productions telecast.
You may not be pleased with the way Iowa State has come back in this game.
Well, it wasn't looking very good there for a while, but I think we stopped turning the ball over, taking better care of it, and getting the ball inside to Victor. He can really hurt a team, and we hope we can keep doing that.
Yeah, Victor's a pretty good player.
He is a good player. Our whole team really has improved. The last third of this season has really come on. They've gelled better. They've gelled together a lot better. They're a young team, and Victor's been a real key for us, as you know.
Your fans, I understand, are unbelievable. Quite a contingency in the Big 8 tournament. Everybody was talking about Iowa State. That's all I kept hearing.
Well, they're really a major factor in our team's success. Our team responds so well to our fans' support. It's such sincere support. They're with us win or lose, and fortunately, we've been winning most of them lately.
Johnny Orr, in my opinion, has done a really great job with this club. He said this is a team that's overachieved. Didn't expect to be here.
Well, I think they have the ability, but Johnny really has done his best coaching jobs ever, I believe, because the team has been so young. They're inexperienced. They're not in awe, and he's brought them along slowly, and they're responding very well to his leadership. Well, we appreciate you stopping by and talking to us, and good luck. Well, thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much. And now the associate athletic director for UCLA, the athletic director, Peter Dallas, is not here, and we've got Steve Solomon. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about some of the logistics involved with coming 3,000 or 4,000 miles across country. I know that's part of your job to do that.
Dan, it's especially challenging when you have 2 days to plan. But it's worth it. It's fun. This is exciting.
Your sports information director said he was very involved in this, and he gets a lot of credit for all of the success that's been going on.
Marc will take credit every chance he gets. Marc's a good man. No, We have a real challenge. Usually we take our time, and in a real systematic and logical way we plan our trips. We take a couple of months to get down all the details just right. In this case, we had 2 days. We got here, and we're doing all right.
Steve, it's nice to see UCLA back in the tournament and playing well.
Great to be here, Dan. Thank you.
All right, Steve Salem, the Associate Athletic Director at UCLA. Now let's go back to Ralph Hacker.
Well, we've got a 4-point ball game here. The Bruins lead it. And we'll return with more halftime activities after these messages.
Your Ford dealers say
March right in, see right now. Buy that new Ford.
March is savings time. Now get low financing or factory cash back. Buy Aerostar, save over $500 on options plus get a $400 rebate. Buy Ranger, get $4.9 financing or up to a $750 rebate. Buy F-Series, save over $2,700 plus get a $500 rebate. March right in to your local Ford dealer now. Quality people, quality product.
We like the Pella windows because they're easy to clean, they're easy to open and close, and the metal clad gives them low maintenance. The fact that custom sizing was available through Pella made it easier to put them in because we did not have to tear up inside or out.
The installation crew was very efficient and not nearly the mess I thought it was going to be.
Bring your home to Pella, the Pella Window Store.
They told us how it was going to be, and that's just exactly how it happened.
A tradition in fine dining has now become twice as good. Bears 2 in the Ankeny Best Western is open 7 days a week for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You'll enjoy the comfortable atmosphere, the intimate lounge, and of course the food, prepared as only the Bears can. Bears 2 serves a variety of Italian, American, and Mexican cuisine with specials day and night. Fresh, delicious homemade buns and Italian bread every day. Add in great prices and another dining tradition is born. Bears 2, it's simply too good.
39-35, Iowa State has made a big comeback, Dan. They were 13 points down with about 5 minutes to go in the half.
Iowa State made a great run, and it shows you what kind of a ball club that Johnny Orr has, a team that never says die, they don't quit, and they really initiated some good transition, got it in the open court, and I thought did an outstanding job to come back, but they were almost out of this game completely. I think they were down 13 or 14. UCLA, when they get it going and when they've got their game in gear, it's Pooh Richardson, and he's the key player, and I thought Richardson had an outstanding first half. He initiated the break, and it really made a superb play. One that he almost made a turnover, wouldn't accept the fact that he did make a turnover, went down on the ground, picked it up, and makes the assist while laying flat on his back to Rosslyn, who gets it right back up and in.
And when Iowa State got things going, they had to get it into big number 52 in Victor Alexander.
Yeah, Victor Alexander responded with 14 in the first half, and just as a big horse around a basket, and he followed it right back up and in, and UCLA is going to have to contain him a lot better in the second half than they did the first.
In 20 minutes, one of the team's seasons will end. We'll be back with the second half of tonight's game right after this.
The word.
Iowa State trailing the UCLA Bruins 39-35. When UCLA has led at the half, they're 17-2 on the year. When Iowa State has trailed at the half, they have lost all but 2 games. They've only had 2 comebacks, Dan.
There you take a look at the halftime statistics. Iowa State really only 42, but that's a lot better than where they were before. But they're doing the job getting to the free throw line. UCLA only been there 5 times, Iowa State 14, and they're doing the job on the boards. But look at those offensive rebounds. That's what's kept Iowa State in this game, the ability to get more than 1 shot. Now you look at the scoring.
Alexander's come up with 14 points, Baugh with 5, Mack with 4, Boyd with 4, Woods 4, and Urquhart has tossed in 2.
Look at Rosslyn coming off the bench with a jump shooting play that he has made. Rosslyn with 14 and MacLean 9, Richardson with 8. Now Don MacLean did pick up his 3rd personal foul. Martin picked up 4, so Jim Harrick has to be very cognizant of the fact, and I'm sure he is, that one of his better guys has 3 fouls on him, and Johnny Orr is just hoping that his club can keep it going. He liked to come back at the end of the first half, and they get the ball to start the second. Dan
Dinkins is in front. We've got Richard Simmons here, our statistician, and we've got him. Good people all around with a foul coming up on UCLA right off the bat, or on, I should say, on Iowa State right off the bat.
Yeah, it looked like
a screen by Mack.
That's exactly right. It looked like a moving screen by number 34, Sam Mack. He was trying to move a little bit. The official picked up the foul. UCLA gets it.
And MacLean with the ball into Walker. He was out of the game offensively in the first half. Was only able to take one shot, as a matter of fact. This is Wilson. And a foul. UCLA is playing strong offense right now. All of a sudden, from behind, Marc Baugh is caught for pushing.
Well, UCLA, I'm sure Jim Harrick said, look, let's go back to what worked in the first half. Let's start getting the ball inside. Baugh picked up the foul. Walker tried to post it up.
Into MacLean. He tries a two-pointer. Rebound by Walker. MacLean back up. MacLean scores first in the second half for his 11th point.
Boy, almost picked up the charge that time. He took it in and scored. No call.
5-point lead for the Bruins. Alexander, he's got to get the ball in his hands, remember. Up against Walker. Wilson. Pooh, Richardson. Walker loves to try the three-pointers.
Oh, he passed up a shot there. I thought he was going to let that one go. Usually does, but didn't do it that time.
Wilson to Walker. MacLean, blocked by Alexander. Right back up is MacLean. Tapped up, and Wilson has the rebound, but he pushed on. That'll be the second foul against Trevor Wilson.
Of course, when UCLA can keep this front line in the game with Wilson, MacLean, and Walker, they're a much better rebounding team. And there's Don MacLean. Look at the defensive play that time by Victor Alexander. A perfect block. MacLean with good presence of mind to get the ball back. A little surprised he missed it. Walker almost got the tip. And then Trevor Wilson over the back.
UCLA scored one time. Iowa State still looking for its first score in the second half. And there's the man who got most of them in the first half. 16 for Victor Alexander. It is back to a 41-37 game.
You know, Kevin Walker can do nothing else but just screen out Victor Alexander. He'll be worth his weight in gold because Alexander is just too good inside.
Wilson now has 6 points. Gary Woods. Iowa State down by 13. First half, fought back. The last 5 minutes of the first half, had it down to 3. Nobody has yet connected on three-pointers. Out of bounds off the leg of Wilson. Bourne will be the man who puts it back in play for the Cyclones. Baugh. The foul's going to be on UCLA. Is it on Walker?
Yes, it is. That's Walker's third.
3 on Walker, 3 on MacLean. 2 each on Wilson and Washington for UCLA.
Iowa State with a purpose in mind. When they come down the floor, they're trying to take it right at the basket to draw some fouls. Kevin Walker will go out. And of course, Rochland, who had an outstanding first half, comes back in the game. So MacLean with 3, Walker with 3. UCLA going to zone it now coming out of the out of bounds. Hope to sag it in there, hope to get some misses.
Terry Woods. Bourne. Sam Mack did not start the game, but he's played an awful lot. He's number 34 for Iowa State. This is Bourne. Alexander. Tapped up, and it wouldn't fall.
Oh, he's got it. Well, he just seems to get every rebound, doesn't he?
Oh, he's got a bunch. Look at this. He has 10 rebounds. 10 of the 27, 28 make it, that Iowa State has.
Now, he's a real wide body in there. You just cannot move him away. No contest here as he takes it up over Rochland. Just doesn't get the roll. But watch Victor Alexander hang in there. No one really trying to get on him to screen him. Gets it back. Rochland with the foul.
You know, Alexander is not having a great shooting afternoon or night. He's 6 out of 12. The free throw line, he is now 4 out of 7.
Well, Ralph, he's missed some shots that normally he puts down. He's had some right inside, but that's what's keeping Iowa State in the game. Look at that stat. Offensive rebounds, 11-3.
All of the points that have been scored for Johnny Orr's ball club in this half have come from Victor Alexander. 43-38. UCLA out by 5 points. UCLA's MacLean to Marc. MacLean inside against Alexander, knocked away. Alexander coming up with the ball. Good save there by Terry Woods.
Good play by Terry Woods. Good hustle to come right back and make the play. Iowa State now trying to get in the half court themselves and try to look for something good.
Iowa State has missed their last 4 shots from the field. Ball.
Oh, they're really sagging off of him. I mean, they're way off the ball.
Well, he wants to try 3. Look at that.
That'll teach you.
That didn't even wrinkle the net. It comes up with his 8th point. That is the first 3-pointer in the game. Iowa State is 1 out of 7.
Trevor Wilson was inviting him to shoot the ball. He was off him 4 or 5 feet. Baugh said, okay, I'll shoot it.
Pooh Richardson against Boyd. MacLean. UCLA hitting 53% for the game from the outside. Iowa State sitting on 39. Richardson. That's the way the first half ended, with Rossman making one of those. Alexander getting his 11th rebound. Iowa State running and a chance to tie. Inside is a charging foul. It's going to be on Sam Mack. That'll be 3 on him. But Johnny Orr can't believe it.
UCLA does a pretty good job of drawing charges, and Charles Rosslin, the senior that time, stepped in the way of number 34, Sam Mack. Terry Woods with a good pass. He's got good vision. Rosslin.
That's a close
I know you didn't like that call. It was close.
I believe him.
Ralph didn't like it.
You got to be set to draw the charge. Under 16 minutes to go. The field goals look this way. It's there. UCLA picks it up.
Good roll by the shooter, Don MacLean. He's got 13. Rosslin with 14, all in the first half. He's going to get off him again.
Baugh still trying to get on track. Alexander, 12th rebound. Baugh with a rebound. Ball back up, and he finally got it, and they continue to just dominate on the offensive board. 10 points for Marc Baugh.
Yeah, UCLA is going to have a real problem winning this game if the rebounds continue like you're seeing in that graphic. 14-3 in the offensive boards. It's surprising, really, that Iowa State's not in the lead with that dominance.
Overall, the rebounds are 31-18. The foul's going to be on Bourne. He fouled Pooh Richardson. Bourne draws his 2nd foul. Other scores going on tonight in the NCAA first round. Indiana in the second half still leading and beating George Mason 79-55. Notre Dame has taken charge of that game with Vandy in the second half at 45-36.
And Notre Dame made a comeback. They were behind early.
Richardson with it. Pooh Richardson. Wilson has his 8th point. That is the 11th assist of the night for Pooh Richardson.
No harm, no foul. The bodies are falling all over the place. No call, just let them go up. UCLA going to try to get back in the zone. They're trying to do anything they can, Ralph, to get the ball off the board. They just can't seem to do it, no matter what defense they're in.
That's Bourne.
He was wide open there for the rebound, just couldn't get it.
Martin. MacLean, as they're off and running for 15 points now for Don MacLean. 49-43. UCLA back out by 6. They led at the half, 39-35.
I think what UCLA has to look to do is rebound all 5 players on the defense. Get everybody in to look to get it off. Don't let the guard stand out there, because UCLA's having a hard time getting. Now everybody look to rebound, because that one goes in.
Alexander, you've got to miss him to get the rebound. That's 19 for him. He's approaching his average of almost 20. Martin against Woods. Woods getting through the screen. The rebound comes off with a 32nd rebound of the night for Iowa State. Sam Mack. Baugh getting it. Baugh gets number 12, and it's 49-47. The Cyclones are whirling in again.
Good pass that time by Mike Bourne, who gave it a Baugh, who finished it. And Iowa State only down 2, giving UCLA just 1 shot at it.
MacLean. They only need 1 when you're going to hit them like that, as Don MacLean gets 17. The scoring leader now for the Bruins.
Well, both these teams really playing well in the second half. Not a lot of turnovers, balls going in, getting transitions. Well, UCLA likes him way out there. They're happy when Alexander's out on the baseline.
They come right back with Sam Mack getting 6. They pulled Alexander out, sent Mack down low. to a 2-point game.
I think they're so concerned with Victor Alexander that Mack was able to knife in there and get the easy basket. UCLA might have to get back out of that zone, go man-to-man.
Wilson. Well, like the Woods, Trevor Wilson.
Now Trevor Wilson's a good player. Trevor Wilson really is a guy they look for to rebound. Richardson misses the jumper, and over the back goes Rochland.
Rochland committing his 4th foul. Charles Rochland. He commits number 4 with 12 minutes and 41 seconds to go. There's timeout on the floor with the score. UCLA leading it by 2 at 51-49. UCLA and the Cyclones of Iowa State going at it. Look at the rebounding situations, Dan.
Yeah, that's an unusual graphic right there. And Iowa State's at 14 offensive rebounds, and UCLA's at 16 defensive. So if that number is close, usually UCLA would be in big trouble. Their second chance point, 16-4. It's amazing this club's ahead. Jim Harrick's going, you know, we still got the lead here. Got to be a little bit surprised.
You look at the other way, you have 19 defensive rebounds for Iowa State, only 3 offensive rebounds for UCLA.
Well, it's been their great shooting that's kept them in at their long-range bombs, and UCLA can just stay out of foul trouble and get back to the boards a little bit and try to limit this club to 1 shot. Maybe they're going to have a chance at it, but they haven't been able to do that.
Iowa State has 16 second chance points. Out of bounds, last touch by Wilson. It'll be Iowa State's ball.
Adrian Moore that time in the game, and Trevor Wilson going for the rebound. Out of bounds, it goes to the Cyclones. They get another shot out of it.
Alexander with it in bounds.
I'm surprised they're going to stay in that zone, because Ralph, in the zone, it's very difficult to screen out. You just don't have any man-to-man responsibilities in terms of screening out. And normally the offensive players get running flying starts.
It's there, and we've got a 51-all ball game. As Adrian Moore gets his first field goal second half, and that is only the second tie we have had tonight. That foul's going to be on Moore. He's the man who got the bucket, and he gets the first foul.
Iowa State and Johnny Orr has come a long way back, trailing by, what, as many as 14, early 13, 14 in the first, 13 in the first half.
8:24 to go in the first half. Johnny Orr's ball club trailed by 13, and UCLA had had the lead 3 times by that minute. UCLA looking to go back to the front. Now, Iowa State had the lead early in the ball game. They led by as many as 3. Wilson's being pushed. It was Moore who got him. He's picked up 2 consecutive fouls. Well, he gets him to tie, and then he starts fouling.
Of course, he's trying to play aggressive. He's guarding a smaller man in there, Trevor Wilson, and he pushed him while Wilson was trying to establish position going down low. Of course, UCLA, not a deep basketball team, and their front line is severely hurt when Rochland's got 4 fouls, and they've got Kevin Walker on the bench, and Keith Owens is trying to get in there and do the job, but they're just not as effective up front with some of their key players out. Oh, look at that move.
UCLA's Pooh Richardson missing the run out. This is Woods against Richardson. Richardson with a tremendous block, brought it down on the head, as you saw. Woods, and out of bounds, UCLA.
Yeah, Richardson, I thought, a little bit out of control at the offensive end, but came back and made up for it. The defensive play on Terry Woods, and no foul. He blocks it, and it goes back off of Woods' head out of bounds. UCLA's got it.
Pooh Richardson against Moore. They look to Wilson on the inside. Owens.
They're going to let Owens shoot it. I mean, they want Keith Owens to get it and shoot it. I think Iowa State playing it very smart.
Richardson. MacLean. Oh.
You don't want him to shoot it.
19 for MacLean. He had 9 in the first half. That takes it back to a 53-51 game. UCLA by 2.
MacLean's kept them in it. It was Rochland with 14 in the first half, and Don MacLean has got 10 in the second. Well, how do you think that?
He stumbled it in. That's what happened. A stumble-in shot by Adrian Moore. He gets 6. Game tied at 53-all.
Adrian Moore almost fell down and still able to get it up and in.
We're approaching the midway point of the second half of play. One of the teams, 10 minutes, 19 seconds left in the season.
Well, you have to like Iowa State shot selection better than UCLA. Iowa State shooting it close in, where the Bruins are shooting it from the perimeter.
Wilson. Alexander knocked it down, give it a team rebound as Woods comes up with it.
He stole it. What a steal.
Martin with a steal.
Oh, nice play by Martin that time. Terry Woods is not an easy man to steal the ball from.
Richardson against Bourne. Bourne blocked it. Bourne draws his third foul. UCLA picking up the tempo a little bit more in the second half. That's the way they had run out to the big lead of 13 in the first 20 minutes of play.
Mike Bourne picks up his third foul, and let's see if they call that in the act of shooting or not. If not, now I thought it was the 17th foul. It'd be a 1-and-1 for Pooh Richardson. Richardson was going to the free throw line. He thought it was 2 shots.
It'll be 1-and-1 as Richardson gets ready to go up there. Richardson's been to the line 1 time tonight, and he missed it. Richardson's 4 out of 8 from the outside. He has 11 assists.
That D you see right up there on Pooh Richardson is in honor of Ducky Drake. And, of course, Ducky, a longtime trainer for UCLA, passed away this year. And very close to the entire athletic program at UCLA for many, many years. And, in fact, spent a lot of time with the Bruin players after each practice. And he passed away this year.
That's 10 points for Pooh Richardson as the senior out of Philadelphia. Gets 10 of his 15.1 average. There's time out on the floor with the score. UCLA 55, Iowa State 53. Chance to see what you'd like to do about the three-point line. Remain the same. Dial 1-900-260-6301. Move back to international distance. Dial 1-900-260-6302. Or move back to the pro distance of 23-4. Dial 1-900-260-6303. And Dan, when are you calling?
Well, I like the international distance. I think really the three-point line has been very exciting for college basketball. There's a steal by Owens. We'll get back to that after the play.
Wilson gets it. Wilson gets number 10. UCLA comes back out, goes on top by 4.
UCLA going to go right back in their press, and they got a steal the last time. See if they get another one. They do.
That's 15 turnovers for Iowa State. Pearson tapped around by Alexander. Now Iowa State with a run out, but here comes Martin. It's there. Martin does not have the overall speed, I don't think, of Pooh Richardson.
I think a mistake that time by the Bruins. They rebounded everybody. Don MacLean right back. The tempo has definitely picked up.
This racehorse basketball, 59-55. The turnovers are like this, 15-8.
Yeah, and that's what's kept UCLA in the game because they've been out-rebounded by a lot.
UCLA has picked up 17 points on turnovers. Richardson. Alexander with a rebound, giving 13 rebounds. Right back to the other end. This is Moore. Moore got it, and he's fouled. That makes it 59-57. Got a chance to take it down to 1. Adrian Moore getting his 8th point.
Oh, Adrian Moore that time used his body just to bring it right in to Keith Owens. Owens with the foul, Moore with the play and the score.
For Iowa State, Sam Mack, who has 6 points in the game and has played over half of it, checks back in. At the line is Adrian Moore. By the way, it was Marc Baugh who went out for the Cyclones. We get a 1-point game with 8:45 left at 59-58. Adrian Moore getting his 9th score. UCLA trying to pick up the pace, but Iowa State coming right back on. Richardson now to Wilson for the Bruins.
Travel.
It is indeed. Turnover, and Iowa State could come back with the lead. UCLA, one of the greatest traditions of all college basketball. 25 NCAA appearances, 10 championships. The last one coming over Kentucky in 1975. San Diego, Johnny Wooden's last ball game.
Of course, Jim Harrick was an assistant at UCLA prior to getting the head coaching job at Pepperdine, and happy to be back.
Alexander started up with the shot is fouled. Number 2 on Keith Owens.
Now, Keith Owens trying to play very hard, but overmatched in there against Victor Alexander. Owens with his 3rd personal foul. Of course, MacLean with 3 and Walker with 4.
The only thing that Alexander has not done well tonight is shoot for the free throw line. He's 5 out of 8. The score is tied at 59 all. Third time in this half we've had a tie. And that's 20 points for Victor Alexander. The lead belongs to the Cyclones. They last led at 9-8. They lead now at 60-59. Remember, they average 87 points a game. UCLA averages 81. But Iowa State gives up 85 and a half a game. The Bruins give up 76.8. This is Martin for 3. Nope, they give him 2, so he was on the line.
Wide open jumper that time by Darrick. Marc played well without the ball just to get open. Now trying to play some defense on Woods, trying to contain. Owens is really overmatched. They're getting it inside. Wilson that time with a good defensive rebound and a kick out.
Richardson. Now they back up by 4. Richardson comes up with number 12. Make it by 3 at 63-60. Adrian Moore. Bourne against Richardson. Alexander against Owens. Alexander with a rebound, he fouled, trying to go over the back. That's number 2 on Victor Alexander.
Well, he does a nice job of not getting in foul trouble either. I thought a key for Iowa State was to keep this big guy right here out of foul trouble. Only has his second foul, and that time one that really Johnny Orr doesn't mind. Tried to get that rebound to go back over the top of Keith Owens. Johnny Orr likes what he sees. He hopes his club can finish in the last 7.5 minutes because they played an outstanding game behind early, but have made a tremendous comeback. Of course, Johnny Orr has never beaten UCLA, has he? Of course, the last time might have been a long time ago when he played him, when he was in Michigan.
Iowa State has never beaten UCLA. They're 3-0 against them. Or 0-3 if you like. That's the first foul shot for Owens, and he gets it. First points the ball game.
Of course, Ralph, Owens knows he's coming out of the game. Rosslin's waiting for him, so a lot of concentration and a good job by Keith Owens to get those 2 free throws down.
Back to a 4-point advantage as Rosslyn comes into the game. Rosslyn had 14 points all in the first half, which is more than double his average.
Keith Owens going to get a little rest. I'm sure he'll be back because of the foul trouble. See if they get it in bounds, almost a 5.
It is in to Terry Woods. 3-on-3, and Woods decides the advantage is not his. Moore. 5-point game, UCLA. Moore.
Well, they've had some shots they could put home. Adrian Moore that time got the pass from Alexander, and I've been impressed with Alexander's passing. I mean, he looks and does a good job. Indiana, that time George Mason made a little run, though. They were behind by more than that, loses 99-85.
Indiana probably made a lot of substitutions.
Yeah, they could have. That's probably
you know they would if Bobby would set the entire starting 5 on the bench, you know, for one entire game against the Illini. 6:37. Martin with it. Wilson. Richardson. Great pass, and Richardson on the break. Richardson with 14.
Good back door that time by UCLA. They went out and pressured him. Good pass off the play by Trevor Wilson.
This is the longest lead of the second half for UCLA. And it came after the game had been tied at 59 all, and Iowa State took a 1-point lead. Now Wilson gets it. UCLA apparently just got mad when Iowa State made the big run on it.
Trevor Wilson's come to life. Look at that pass. What a pass there.
Now they've come to life. Rossland comes up with 16. Johnny Orr's going to have to call a timeout. He's got to settle this ball club down because it's starting to get away from him. Iowa State has now missed their last 4 shots. There's time on the floor. UCLA 69, Iowa State 60 here in the Omni. To 60. Iowa State trails UCLA after they had led 60-59.
And UCLA handling the pressure well. Here's the play that Wilson gives it up on the backdoor cut to Pooh Richardson, who takes it in for the score. And Pooh Richardson has not only led this club with good assists, but he's been able to score a little bit and play some defense. Bruins now with their largest lead, as you said, Ralph. There's going to be a foul there. Oh, that one on Rossland. He tried to stay away, but picked up a foul on Alexander. That's his 5th.
Goes out with 16 points. He wasn't real happy about it, but he goes to the bench. 69-60. If Iowa State is to make a run, I think the run has got to begin now.
Yeah, right at this moment. Rossland not wanting to come out of the game, and I don't blame him. Never walk off the court until the official makes you go off. They did right there, and Rossland sits down. He didn't like the call on the 5th foul, but he played a terrific game, picking up 16 points, 14 of them in the first half.
Jim Harrick is going to have to make a substitution, and he does it at this particular moment. Owens coming back here. Looking at 2 across different aspects. You've got Ames, Iowa at 25,448, and there are millions in Los Angeles. You've got UCLA with 34,400. You've got about 22,000 students on campus at Iowa State.
This guy's a tremendous player. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm very impressed with Victor Alexander. Only a sophomore, not good news for the rest of the Big Eight. And he's even surpassed Johnny Orr's expectations. 8 out of 11 from the line. And he's just going to be a powerhouse for the next 2 years. Oh, nice save that time by Bourne. Did he make a play?
He made a great play over to Marc Baugh, who's back into the game. This thing about the Iowa State ball club is they do not quit. Basket will not count. He was fouled before the shot. Wilson, I believe, is the man who got him. That'll be 3 on Trevor Wilson.
That's his third.
It'll be 1 in the bonus. And at the line, Marc Baugh. He has 12 points for the night. Baugh is 1 of 2 from the free throw line.
And I think you said it right there, Ralph. They've got to make their run right now. And I thought that save by Bourne was critical because it gives the Cyclones another shot at it. Well, they've been down at this end of the floor for a while. They took the timeout, and they were down 69-60. They got a chance now to close it to 6.
It's there for 14. 69-63. 5:40 left here in Atlanta. Pooh, Richardson, Wilson. We have not seen a lot tonight out of Kevin Walker because he has remained in foul trouble. And now UCLA wants a timeout with 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in this ball game. UCLA is leading at 69-63 with time out of the floor here at the Omni. We've had 6 ties, 9 lead changes, and at the moment UCLA leads at 69-63. The Bruins have the basketball.
Both clubs with 2 timeouts remaining. It's going to be a little chess match now going down on the wire. UCLA coming out of a timeout. I'm sure Jim Harrick said, look, we got to get it in Richardson's hands, or we got to look at MacLean, or maybe Trevor inside. But we've got to be solid in the half court, no turnovers, and you'd love to score coming out of a timeout.
Owens with it. They take it away from him. Alexander just stands back and says, give it to me, man. They do, and now Woods takes it.
Now, wrong guy with the ball for UCLA. Give it to the inexperienced player, Keith Owens, and the Cyclones make a nice play with the steal.
That was the 10th turnover for UCLA. The foul. It'll be a 2-shot violation as Martin got him on the wrist after Woods couldn't get the shot away. Martin draws his 2nd foul. UCLA is going to get Kevin Walker back in the game. Owens goes out.
Darrick Marc really made an ill-advised foul that time. Terry Woods with a long jumper, and he got him on the elbow. Now Woods got a chance to cut his lead even a little bit more.
Now Woods has scored 6 points tonight, which is about half of his average. They just can't get a free throw to fall. They're 16-24 now. Look at Johnny.
He's not looking now.
He realizes that if it could hit from the free throw line, they'd be leading.
They haven't been able to get UCLA to turn the ball over. Of course, UCLA's got good guards, and Martin and Richardson can take care of it. They sure have been able to rebound well against the Bruins.
Under 5 minutes left in the game. Wilson, big lineup in there now for UCLA. Wilson. Then you have MacLean at 6'10", Wilson 6'8", Walker is at 6'10".
Well, they got their starting team back. Oh, good steal.
And Baugh is the man who steals it. It's Walker. Baugh comes through with number 16, 69-66. There's still life in the Cyclone yet.
And UCLA led 69-60. You said they had to make a run, and they have.
Wilson inside against Alexander. How do they call it? Alexander. He doesn't like it. That'll be his 3rd foul.
Well, Alexander just couldn't move fast enough to get in front of Trevor Wilson. He's about 6'9" and a half at 270 pounds. First plays 40 minutes, never comes out. Trevor Wilson that time made a good move to take it in traffic, and he'll get a couple of shots at the free throw line.
Well, this big man, as you said, leads Iowa State in times played. Wilson just followed that one, and he knew that that was off.
And Trevor Wilson's had some streaks at the foul line in the Pac-10 tournament. He went 0 for 8. But then he can go on a streak and make quite a few in a row. But he's not a particularly good free throw shooter as he gets that one down.
That's 11 points for Trevor Wilson. Back to a 4-point game, 70-65. They steal it. Terrible pass. Richardson with it.
Really, it was Iowa State that we thought might be able to pressure UCLA, but UCLA's been able to get some turnovers, especially on their press. Their press has been very effective. 17
turnovers for Iowa State, 11 for UCLA. UCLA has scored 17 points after the turnover, and the foul is going to be on Alexander again. There's 2 fouls on him, and now the big man is in foul trouble with 4.
I'm going to tell you, Jim Harrick did not like that move. Jim Harrick's going, hey, look, he's going to Trevor Wilson. You want to calm down a little bit. They got it on Victor Alexander. And there's the big guy that stayed out of foul trouble for most of the game, but now picks up his 4th personal foul. Trevor Wilson that time a little too much one-on-one, especially with the Bruins with a 70-66 lead.
The winners today here in Atlanta have been Michigan, Alabama, South Alabama, and North Carolina. As Jim Harrick of UCLA.
Yeah, play smart is what he's telling everybody. No bad mistakes as Wilson barely gets the first one up there.
Foul situations like this. Alexander with 4. Washington is out for UCLA. Well, he's on target. He's missed one, hit one the last 2 times there. It's a 5-point game again, 71-66. 3:53 left in the game. The Cyclones need a basket to strip down.
Yeah, they need to get it over. They're getting close to 10. They finally do get it over.
They get it down. The bucket is up. No good. Rebound belongs to UCLA. That's MacLean to Wilson.
Now they need to get it in Richardson's hands. I thought there might have been a foul, but no call. And the Bruins now need to run their offense and get it in this guy's hands right here, number 24, Pooh Richardson, and make sure that they get good shot selections in the half court. Almost a steal.
It will be. It was last touch by UCLA. Jim Harrick just charges down the sideline.
Well, he doesn't want to get a technical right now. He does not want to get a technical. Got to be very careful that one of his assistants is just take him away. Good composure by the official not to tee him in that situation. He knew it was at the end. Here's the play he was complaining. The plane that was hit and the ball was kicked. He wanted some help to talk to the other official, but didn't get it.
On the follow-up tackle foul, UCLA is guilty of the first one. I think it was Pooh Richardson, the little man, who was on the inside. Nope. Trevor Wilson, that'll be 4th. 2 fouls at the line.
Now UCLA now getting in severe problems. Of course, they only got 3 minutes and 11 seconds left in this game, but they've got a host of people in foul trouble as Adrian Moore. That ball wasn't close.
Adrian Moore already has his career and season high of 9 points. Look at that. Missed 2 in a row, and they are 17 of 27 from the charity stripe. That's going to cause Johnny Orr to have nightmares when he gets ready to start next season as he wins this ball game.
Yeah, and the last time, really, their free throw shooting has been very good, but Darrick Martin did a nice job of stepping in the way, and here's the reaction. Yeah, Johnny Orr. Well, the old hands on the head, look on the ground play.
Not much to rough, John.
No, you can't go out there and shoot it for him, can you?
2:55. Richardson for 3. Pooh Richardson, who hits 50% from 3-point range, gets his first one tonight, and UCLA is 1 out of 3.
Big shot by Pooh Richardson. There it goes. See if they double up. It's a good pass, but Boston couldn't handle it.
Iowa State starting to crumble as UCLA starts to get stronger and stronger as Martin is fouled. The foul is going to be on Sam Mack, his 4th.
The freshman Darrick Martin that time was the benefactor of a nice pass. Pooh Richardson with the eyes and the one-handed bounce pass. And the foul by Sam Mack.
Martin at the line. UCLA hadn't just set the world on fire for free throw lines tonight. They're 9 out of 14.
UCLA's not they're about a 67, 68% free throw shooting team. Those two hurt. Martin had a chance almost to put Iowa State in a prone position, but couldn't do it.
That left Iowa State in the ballgame. So that did with about 2:25 to go, and especially with that bucket coming through. Mack is the man who got the bucket, and there was a timeout call just as soon as he got it, as Sam Mack gets his 8th point. 2:23 to go. Timeout of Belluomini. Johnny Orr looks at the scoreboard and sees he trails it by 6. Like Iowa State, UCLA brought its cheerleaders and its pep band along here, and their ball club leads at 74-68. 2:23 to go. Iowa State has 1 timeout left. The Bruins have 2. The Bruins getting it into Wilson. I think if UCLA is going to win it, they're going to have to do it from the free throw line.
Well, not only that, Rob, they're going to have to not turn the ball over, which they really haven't done. They've kept care of the ball, and if they can get into half court, and I don't think they need to play real conservative. They pick up a foul there. Looked like Marc Baugh with the foul on Trevor Wilson, and if you're Iowa State, that is the guy you want to foul. You want to look to go ahead and foul Wilson.
The Southeastern Conference has now gone 0-4 in this year's NCAA tournament as Notre Dame has beaten Vandy 81-65. Only LSU remains out of the SEC. Chris Jackson, outstanding freshman for Dale Brown.
Outstanding. That's an understatement. He's the best point guard I've ever seen come in. I mean, this guy's unbelievable.
Most exciting player down there since Bissell Pete Maravich played.
3rd straight miss for UCLA.
74-68. Rebound Wilson. He has had some key rebounds here late in the ball game. As a matter of fact, that is the 11th rebound for Wilson tonight. He is the only man for UCLA to really have gone to the boards hard.
What a pass.
Walker just takes it in. UCLA 76, Iowa State 68. We're inside the last minute 32 of this ball game. Iowa State trying to keep the run up. They get it up there, and it's there. Terry Woods comes through with number 9. A little goaltending because somebody had their hand up through the bottom of the net, Dan. Jim Harrick of UCLA. First year out there.
And UCLA, of course, knows they're going to be pressed. Iowa State in a desperate situation right there. There's Johnny Orr. He's got to be disappointed because he did get great inside scoring from Victor Alexander, but his club really turned the ball over a lot. And they caught UCLA in the second half, but just couldn't take command of this game. The Bruins have done a nice job of making the big shot. Now, they have not shot their free throws very well. They finally get one down. They're coming off 3 misses in a row.
That's 7 points for Darrick Martin. 10 out of 17 from the free throw line for UCLA, but they're 33 of 58 from the field for 57%. Very few times tonight if they hit 2 in a row, but Martin does it when it counts. 78-70. Iowa State's got to have a 3-pointer or so.
Yeah, there's the long jumper by Terry Woods, and I really think the defensive job by Darrick Martin, number 15, has negated Woods, number 4, for Iowa State. And that's one of the reasons that Bruins are in the lead, because Iowa State has just dominated UCLA in the offensive boards, and they've been able to get a lot of 2nd and 3rd shots.
But I think the big reason that they are ahead right now is they finally started getting some defensive rebounds. They were being out-rebounded so badly early in this half that the Iowa State came in and took the lead away from them. 80-70. They're back by 10. A try for 3. And again, UCLA comes up with a defensive rebound. That is now 25 defensive rebounds for them. This is Wilson. Tapped up and in by MacLean. That's 23 points for Don MacLean.
UCLA right in their rhythm right now. Of course, Iowa State's not a 3-point shooting team. They're going all the way in for an easy score. The Bruins going to let them go. Timeout, Cyclones. Just to stop it. Might be their last timeout.
It was indeed their last one. Time out of the floor. 25 seconds to go. 10-point difference. UCLA leads. 72. UCLA leads, only 25 seconds to go. UCLA is 17-0 when they have held their opponents to 80 points or less in a ball game. UCLA will now go, if they hold on for 25 seconds, barring any miracle by Iowa State, at 18-2 when they have led at the halftime. The foul very quickly for Iowa State. It's going to be on Hughes Suffering. 6'3" senior out of Kansas City, Kansas. There's Johnny Orr. 141, 125 in 9 years, and 24 years of coaching after he left Benoit College up in Wisconsin in 1949. He's won 389 and about to lose his 271st game.
But I really think he's got to be happy with the way his team performed. It's an overachieving type of ball club. It wasn't really expected to be here in the NCAA tournament. And I don't think these guys right here have anything to be ashamed of. They played very hard and very well. UCLA just shot the ball extremely well from the outside. And I thought their press hurt Iowa State. When they went into that 2-2-1 full court, they got 2 or 3 steals in a row, and the Cyclones they were not able to solve the press.
There's a shot underneath and up by Jay Goodman. He has 2. 5 seconds is all that remains. Richardson with it. Behind the back pass. Goodman has it, and that ends the games. Iowa State will go back to Ames, Iowa, with a score of 17-12 on the year as they finish up the 1988-89 season. UCLA wins their 21st game against only 9 losses as they won it tonight here in the Omni in Atlanta by a score of 84-74. 84-74 is your score. UCLA wins it tonight over top of the Iowa State Cyclones here in the Omni in first round. Jim Harrick, a very happy young man, signals to a fan up in the stands as in his first year at UCLA he has brought them in to the NCAA after tying for 3rd in the Pac-10 and wins his first NCAA victory as the Bruins head coach. And a happy group of UCLA fans have followed them in here. So they now join.
Last night in the first round of the Southeast Regional, the Cyclones fell to the Bruins of UCLA 84-74. Iowa State finishes with a 17-12 record, winning 6 of its last 9 games. TV8's Pete Taylor has reaction from Atlanta.
It was sort of a case of deja vu for the Cyclones last year in Hartford against Georgia Tech. Iowa State unable to hit from the outside and wound up losing the ball game. This year, much the same story. Against UCLA, Iowa State able to shoot only 42% for the ball game. Although they were strong in the rebounding department, the shooting just was not there, and Johnny Orr concurred.
We took some shots we should have never taken, and we just weren't sharp with our passing. Receiving the ball, sometime we just seemed like we fumbled it all the time. And it wasn't a pretty thing to end up the season, but like I say, I think they tried as hard as they could, and they've done a heck of a job the last 6 weeks, so I'm very proud of them in that respect. And hopefully the next 2 years we'll get in these things and play a little better.
It's hard to rationalize what it's going to be like next year not playing when, you know, pretty much all my life I played basketball. So it's going to be a tough adjustment for me, but I'm going to have to deal with it.
Obviously, the Cyclones are bitterly disappointed over the loss to UCLA, but with 5 red shirts sitting on the sidelines this year, the future looks bright for Iowa State basketball. Reporting from the Omni in Atlanta, Pete Taylor for TV8 Sports.
The Iowa Hawkeyes are back in action tomorrow in the second round of the East Regional. Tip-off is set for 1:30 Iowa time, and you can see the game here on TV.